Let's get started.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live, yo.
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
All right.
For the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
Experience.
You're now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon, Kamar, and your host, Matt Floyd.
The happiest of birthdays to our compatriot Kamar. Happy birthday. Happy 62nd birthday, sir.
I told you not to say anything.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. My name is Matt Floyd, joined as always by Kamar.
Welcome to the party.
And Simon.
Happy birthday.
What we do here is very simple. The three of us have listened to every episode of the Joe Rogan Experience this week. We're going to rate each episode as well as the week on a scale of 1 to 5 Jamie Vernons. We're then going to talk about each guest, the talking points, give our opinions, this, that, and the next. Kamar, new patrons by any chance?
Hey, man, how's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you? You know what's weird is you're doing the double. You could easily have the email on there too, right? No,
No, I switched over something.
it's fine. You don't have to explain. You're okay.
This makes him look even more important.
No,
He's
it
got
really does.
two
I was,
things on
and
the
he's got
go.
his chair jacked up. Like he's doing everything to be in the power seat here.
I feel like it
If
needs.
he wants to be in the power seat, he can have
I
it.
feel like it needs a stack of files and papers here
Yes.
as well,
Yeah.
and maybe some.
An in and an out box.
But
I feel like too.
in any event.
I feel like low key Kamar at home has like a little chalkboard with each one of our names, and anytime someone online is like, "I'm Team Kamar," he does a little, just puts a little fucking check under his name, and
It's a notch on my bedpost. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. This week, we give a big shout out to all the Patreons, but our new patrons are Shauna.
Shauna, I think she's returning.
Shauna, na, you are the best. And shout out to
Thank you, Shauna.
Jenna Winchester.
Jenna's definitely a return. Jenna, shout out to you. Thank you so much.
Doesn't she sound like she shoots
Ooh,
guns?
Jenna.
Just
Winchester.
because of the last name.
Cigarettes or guns?
Both.
I was going to bring up a
Winchester's
post, Joe, but did you see the Turkish guy
Yeah, of course.
with the hand in the pocket? It's just another meme.
No, what are you talking about?
He's hooking up with the Huk 2 girl now.
Shut up.
There's a Turkish guy hooking up.
No. There's a. You didn't see the Turkish shooter at the Olympics?
No.
So he won. What did he win? Gold or
Silver. It was a team event.
He won silver. Like everyone else. Will you stop doing what you're doing? Everyone else at the event, Simon, had like 100 apparatuses on their head and hands to shoot, like a
Blocker for the one eye,
Okay,
like these
gotcha.
crosshairs
That kind
and
of shooting.
and
pelters.
then this like 58-year-old
In a wife beater.
silver fox Turkish dude just rolls up barehanded,
Anyone?
gets silver. But I mean, still,
That's cool.
the surfer, Kamar. The surfer was it. for
Cool
me.
story.
Those
bro.
guys, the picture, I was a photographer.
But forget the picture. Even watching the whole video where he comes out of the pipe with the 10 up, looking right at the camera, and then flies out and does the fuck, dude. I was
Well,
like,
he has to do that
stole
because
Trump's
none of
thunder.
us understand what the fuck is going on in the scoring. So he had to tell us this is a 10.
The BMX is better than skateboarding.
BMX is insane. Though.
When the guys flip and do this stuff,
fucking lunacy.
It's more exhilarating than skateboarding. The skateboarding is cool, but
Well, don't forget the risk factor is much higher in BMX.
well, no, it goes into Winter Olympics. Winter Olympics are way more dangerous.
Yeah, I
Downhill
agree.
skiing, all
Yeah.
this stuff, and that I saw a girl on like the second day try a front flip, and she bailed, and it looked like she was all right, but she wasn't all right. There's stakes.
Yeah, stakes are high.
Happy Olympics. It will be followed by another Olympic stories after the show. Did you ask me about what was the guest this week?
No, but I figured you were going to get to it.
2182 Michael Malice. Then there was a. You guys are familiar with Khalil Roundtree Jr.?
Yeah.
He was on, but that's an MMA. We don't do those. And it followed.
I'm pretty sure he's like the number 1 or 2 ranked light heavyweight.
What sport is that?
Asshole.
2183 Norman Holler. And I want to say a preface apology to anyone around the world who listens to the show.
Who listened last week?
I don't like
I'd like to
listening
apologize too.
That's
to
funny.
people with accents. I think it'd be better if I watched it, but the whole thing was audio for me. And
But Germans are so good at the language.
You don't find it makes people seem smarter?
I know that when I hear people speak with a British accent, I think they're smarter. But
But you'll speak to a German and you'll be like, "How long have you spoken English for?" And
Maybe
they'll be like 5 years, and then they'll speak it better than you. They'll use words where you're like, "Well, what does that mean?" Like,
but in languages, there's words that don't translate. Like it's an awkward way. They are perfectly fluent in English.
yeah.
But it's still just.
I mean, their language is wild.
I wonder if we're the nicest people to listen to.
Yeah, shoot fucking she's.
Exactly. If it's spoken in his native tongue, I mean, because it was deep stuff. I think Canadians have a really agreeable accent, though, to listen to.
Oh, well, hold on. We're a pretty large nation. There's
We have
many
a lot of accents.
Yeah, there's like
Peter Jennings.
yeah. Okay, I agree. There are certain
Canadian.
people that grow up in certain pockets that have like a. I get what you're saying.
I think we all say a boot, no matter where you're from in Canada.
Well, listen, you don't hear it as much. Like when you go to the country, you really hear it. When I'm in America, I'm like, oh yeah, I definitely say a boot. I mean, I don't say it that way, but it comes,
Like we say restaurant. They
No,
say
you say restaurant. No,
we
you're-
say frontier. They say
I found out when I would say, so this Beavis and Butthead is a cool show, eh? And they go, sure, B. Because the
A-B.
the A is the thing I'm the most ashamed of.
You shouldn't be though, because Americans use it too. It's not as
sure B. What are we talking about here?
when Canadians say A,
A
B,
B.
it's the next letter in the alphabet.
Yeah. Who says that?
Oh my god.
I don't get it, man. What are you
I
talking about?
It's a bad
remember
joke.
being
It's
in
the-
America and Beavis and Butthead was big, and I had not heard of it in Canada. I said, so this Beavis and Butthead show is cool, eh?
A.
And he goes, sure, B.
Sure B. Oh, I see. Okay. They say huh instead of A.
They also say A. I'm telling you.
Oh, is better. Is it agreed that like is the worst?
Well, we all use it.
We do, but to overuse it is
I think basically is the worst word.
basically.
You hear basically,
No, literally is the worst word.
literally, and basically, I think are
But not
both.
if you say literally.
Literally. Yeah, that
Literally.
does make it better.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, so we have 2 to rate. That's what we're doing. There's only 2 this week.
We have 2 to rate and just 1 to talk about.
Malice and the Nazi meth heads. All right.
Yeah, I mean, not the worst week in the world.
I must say I started listening to the JRE MMA show, 161 with Khalil Roundtree Jr., sponsored by Ozempic.
What?
He said this thing where he said, I wasn't going to say anything, but Netflix is making me say my special is coming out this.
No, he said that also in the Michael Malice one.
Well, that lets us talk about the special then. That's nice
Cat's
that you
out of
did
the
that.
bag.
So Joe had his special. What did you guys all think of it?
I really think he's coming to his own.
There's a live special on Netflix. Let's get everybody's opinion. Come
I
on,
would
you
say
go
it's-
first.
I don't think it's the best special because of the shelf life, and it was tight and just poetic. In
You
ways.
watched the whole thing? Mm-hmm. Good for you.
You also watched the whole thing.
Matt,
Simon.
what did you think of the special?
I didn't think it was great.
Whoa.
Where would you rank it in like the sphere of other specials out there? Like, are we closer to
I'm not
like
doing
a?
I'm not doing this.
Are we closer to like a Shane Gillis or closer to like a?
I don't think you're giving credence to that it was live.
Yeah, I agree.
And that most specials you've seen that you look at and judge are...
You think sorry. You think those jokes would have been funnier if he had taped the special like a normal special? Somehow the jokes
there
were
were
going to
jokes.
change?
There were jokes for sure that got sort of like gasps almost.
Yeah, because
Which
these
is-
people are a
which-
bunch of
no,
liberal cucks.
No, but that's all right. That's all right.
He's in San Antonio.
That's all right. And it's not digging out of a hole, but whatever. On the other show, they might have been into it.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it would be any funnier if you saw it more like produced.
I think the biggest problem is it's 4 years old.
No, again, Simon, I think you're forgetting. Okay.
That is the problem, Kamar.
And he's
I
still a
think you're
great
right.
comedian. He's still a great comedian.
I'm going to say this again. The what Kamar's saying is 100% true. The edited final product will should be much better.
You assume it's coming. I don't.
100% it is.
No, we know they edit these things after they do them. I heard it on a podcast.
And I
They
guarantee.
put it out and analytics let them know what to keep in, what to keep out.
No,
No.
meaning like if there's a fuck up, you're not going to see it on the.
So, okay.
Like, let me give you an
for that
example.
question, the heckler.
Yeah, that will be
that'll
taken out.
be gone, I'm sure. Because
100%.
Joe doesn't come off good there. I mean, maybe he'll say leave it in. That's possible.
I doubt it. I don't think it was that funny a moment to leave
I'm sure
in.
Joe thought he like
Really put him in his place.
really put him in his place.
And also, live is live. So, I mean, he's great. He's
Look,
so great.
Look, I'll say it again.
Wow.
There's a chance. Think
Little
about it.
Hicksy.
If you're Joe and you're like, okay, we're going to do a live one, you would probably choose the last one, right? Let me get warmed up the day before with 2. Let me do one before, and then it might have been a bad choice. Maybe he could have recorded the second
I
one.
can't even believe that, though.
we don't know that for a fact. That's just Matt's hypothesis.
I'm certain.
Matt thinks that Tony opened for him and they didn't put that on either.
I can't remember the voice that
It was Tony.
announced him. It was Tony?
100%.
So, for sure he did.
For sure he did.
And I wonder, he must have some openers.
Joe wouldn't want to have to compete with another comedian on his special.
You
That would
always
be
have someone
crazy.
warm the crowd up. What the fuck are you talking about?
It is really.
No, but you don't see that on the specials.
Oh, yeah, no, I
when you
agree, yeah.
Watching Ari
No.
Shafir.
But it's also-
Shafir
It's
special.
also something the audience doesn't understand. This week at the club, there's been a comedy competition.
Yeah.
The one I never won. And the host isn't, they don't care. They're not trying to to the latest degree, American Idol it up and try to, we're going to have a great time. They just tell their jokes and they get laughs and they can only do their act. And so there's no energy. And everyone who starts first has come in last. And the second person will get some laughs and usually third position wins or places high because now the crowd is warmed up.
Yeah.
But you don't realize what's happening.
Yeah, I get it.
You need to laugh at something, be offended by something like, okay, this is what the bar is.
Listen, I wasn't impressed with what I saw last night. I will reserve judgment until I see the final product, which I gotta be honest, I don't see it improving. For me, if you liked it, great. Listen, I went online last night. A ton of people were like, this was the shit. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was great.
Including me.
I think Kamar makes a good point when he says you can't make jokes that are 6 years old funny. It's tough.
You can if they're very personal, but
Not about what's going on in the,
the
world.
fear factor, Donkey Kong, I think may be a product of us hearing it a million times on the podcast.
I said that. I said he
It had no shock value. It was like, you're telling that story again? So
That's how the whole thing seemed. Anyways, okay, let's move on because you guys obviously
Love you,
don't
Joe.
want to give your true opinions. About
What do you? What did I say? I said I didn't like it. What more do you want me to say?
Nothing. Nothing more, Matt.
all I said is, I don't think it was his best special.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't his best special.
There's no chance it was.
It
His
might have been his worst special.
Better than other people's special. I love it, Joe.
Better than other people's specials. Okay, sure.
Okay, I'm going to call the
That's
audible,
true, I
and
guess.
we'll go backwards and forward. 2183 Norman Oler.
We're doing it in reverse.
Oh, we didn't even rate it.
No, that's what I said. I'm gonna give it a. I'll go to 3.5.
Did I mention it's my birthday so I can do whatever I want? I give it 3.5.
Well,
Simon.
hit the button, baby.
Oh wow.
We have an agreement.
Haven't had one of those in a while.
Yeah, I did it just because it was Kamar's birthday. Happy birthday, Kamar.
Happy birthday, Simon.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, buddy.
It's
So-
my wife's birthday tomorrow, so
Happy birthday,
happy
Halima.
birthday to Halima.
Was she asking about me?
Yeah, she said, "Where's my fucking Astro buddy?"
I think she slid in my DM.
Where's my Astro buddy?
Yo, watch it.
Airplane mode.
Listen, just because it's your birthday doesn't mean you get to disrespect.
No,
my
he said
wife.
2 minutes ago. I get to do whatever I want.
But that just sounds slimy.
Yeah, it sounds slimy.
Yeah.
Slide into DMs.
I'm gonna go talk to your ma later.
well, maybe you talk
How
to
does
your
that?
wife first.
How does that feel?
Great.
Feels extra aggressive.
Great.
Yeah.
My one was classy. Norman Oler is a German.
My mom's classy.
We call him a reporter, historian, / check the facts.
/ check the facts. That should be his back cover of his book.
But his first book was about meth and Nazis using it.
Yeah.
And this book is about psychedelics.
This is really just another perfect example how we read history, assume it's true, or assume we're getting, 90%
brass
of
tacks, yeah.
what we need to know, and it's not even. Like,
Did you guys think before this, and I feel stupid, that LSD was somehow synthetic?
I did think that.
I did as well, yeah.
But it is synthetic.
No, it's not.
Well, it's copied from a natural thing. It is synthetic. They make LSD.
I would just call it refined.
Okay, well, you're just being an LSD snob then.
No, but meth is more synthetic. Like, you feel better about mushrooms because it grows out of the ground.
Yeah.
You can feel better about LSD because it's this mold. It's also a mushroom, sort of. It's a fungus.
I think the comparable would be like, do you feel better doing heroin or like a pill form heroin? You know what I mean? Heroin is from a plant. Oxycodone is just a replica of heroin from the plant, but in a pill form.
So you're saying like ergot mold to LSD, is that?
Well, like Simon has done heroin. Like you've smoked opium.
Yeah, that I have.
See? You've also done oxy.
That I also have.
So he's done 2 forms of heroin.
Oxy's far easier.
No,
But-
what I'm saying though is
What he's saying is he doesn't say like I tried heroin.
it's that's what LSD, that acid that you make in your bathtub is a synthetic replica of, like you're saying, whatever that ergot is or whatever it happens to be.
I'm sorry I don't have those facts in front of me, but I'll look into that. He talked about, though, ergot did do something.
Yeah.
And there was a time and period where people were eating bread and like freaking out or losing limbs and dying. That's not crazy to you?
What do you mean?
If people just every once in a while started running down the street into a bus, and like, oh, what happened? Like you would know they ate some ergot, but this would be happening. There'd be no diagnosis or just like, whoa, that side of the street's got the crazies. I'm sure someone figured out it was the bread or something, but there was a time period where no one knew what was going on.
Yeah, a long fucking time period.
Looking
We
back,
still, come on, 200 years from now, if we're still around, people will look back at now and be like, wow, they really had no idea what was going on.
well, and I bet if you look back in history now to some like weird things that may have happened throughout time, you can probably see a direct correlation to some sort of like, people thinking they meet God or whatever.
Well, you're forgetting too, the whole
They
Salem.
just have ergot poisoning.
But also coinciding with advancement.
Maybe, or with like a Bible story or,
Sure. But I mean, you're forgetting the whole Salem witch trial was because of ergot, right?
I mean, maybe.
Well, that's what they believe.
I think it was the patriarchy, but what they would not have known,
What they would not have known.
because this is before. Oh no, this is the Nazis. I'm sorry.
This is way later.
Yeah, this is way later.
I got out of this. The biggest thing is, so he's working with, I believe, his grandmother and dementia, Alzheimer's.
His mother.
Microdose or maybe macrodose is like a.
Preventative.
No, I think it's more than preventative.
Well, it probably is, but if it's that, then it's probably also a good preventative. That's what he was saying. People should start like microdosing mushrooms
Yes,
every day, like a vitamin.
It might be too late to try to give it to an 80-year-old who's sort of.
Well, maybe not, because we know it rewires pathways in your
I've
brain,
said it. I've
so-
never had someone close enough that I could be in it, but it's worth a try. And then if someone said to me, "What if their dementia is it's hard to be around, but if they were to come back, they'd be more sad that they realize what's going on." Does that make sense?
Like it's actually your body protecting you because
just-
it doesn't want you to be able to realize what's going on. That's interesting, Kamar.
But it's like-
that's a deep thought from Ed Handley over here.
It was not.
Yeah, but if you knew that taking a microdose of mushrooms every day would give you, like, would take you out of the dementia, then problem solved.
or prevented altogether because
Sure.
of neuro
Plasticity.
Pathways.
inflammation.
Here we go. Fuck. We both.
Rears its ugly head.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild?
Well, and maybe that's why CBD is good also because it's just anti-inflammatory.
You've talked so much shit about
They also
CBD
brought up-
and that stuff. I don't trust any of it.
They backed me up. Type 3 diabetes.
Is another way
Yeah.
to say Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
No, we looked it up.
No, I know.
and,
I remember. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And just something else they don't want to tell us.
Well, he was saying, he's like sugar. Like sugar is truly a poison that we sell everywhere.
And use
In
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing that we don't hammer
No
full
one
of fucking
knows
sugar.
where it comes
Well,
from.
and it's that I think it's probably that corn syrup. That's
high fructose
that's
corn syrup,
really
yeah.
bad. Like sugar in itself is probably not a terrible thing.
No, like natural sugars you get from fruit and stuff is
this
probably,
is-
but the
this is
fiber,
what I
I think,
mean.
I think the fiber in the fruit helps you process the sugar.
But the corn syrup, that's something that was never supposed to be made. It's like an affront on God, you know?
Yeah, it's
One-
like the castor oils and stuff
And
like
I'm
that.
not
Like,
I'm not being facetious. I mean it. Like it's probably one of those probably like gasoline. That's probably another thing that probably should have never been invented, you know?
God's like, how's it going down there? They're like, they're fucking kids. They've pulled gas out of the ground. He's like, God damn it.
But there's a great bit where it's like he puts them down there and then guy comes back and tells them that he's fucking the animals. I can't remember the whole thing.
I think I remember it.
Have you ever been? Have you ever hit by a sting nettle?
Go on.
What's a sting nettle? Is that a plant?
Sorry, a stinging nettle.
I don't think. I
it's
don't
a
believe
plant,
so.
eh?
If you hit it, if it's leaves or whatever, little spikes, it sort of makes you go numb.
Okay, you've had that before?
I have.
Have you had poison ivy before?
I am not allergic to it.
So it doesn't bother you.
It doesn't.
Interesting.
Dude, forget that. What is it? Irish parsnip?
I've never heard of it before.
No?
No.
Dude,
Is that a sexual position?
no. You need to look it up and be aware of it because if you come in contact with this fucking plant, the sap, if you get the sap on your skin and then you get any exposure to the sun, it gives you like 3rd-degree burns that last for like 10 years.
Our buddy got a 2nd-degree burn from having his knee on a roof shingle for like 5
It's
minutes.
that hot.
It's that hot.
That's insane. No, my buddy he was doing yard work in someone's backyard and he didn't realize they had this parsnip. And dude, his arms now, like he can't be out in the sun in the summer.
But again,
It's called wild parsnip.
Sorry, wild
not
parsnip.
Irish
My
parsnip.
sorry to the Irish. My apologies.
but again, I have a cousin who
Look for the burn
he
sign.
walks through poison ivy, he's fucked. And I walk through the same thing and nothing happens.
Wait, so you're like immune to poison ivy?
I think maybe I've been there for 20 years. Yeah, I swear
That's
to God.
odd because I definitely get poison ivy if I.
No, we've had people get it, and I've never gotten it. And being
You
in the
could be
same
immune.
area,
You never know. Maybe there's some histamine in your body that's.
Everyone's different. So the idea that criminalizing of drugs, grouping them together and then criminalizing them is undemocratic.
Sorry, say that one more time for me.
Making drugs illegal, the people that make drugs illegal are a small minority of the population
Yes.
with different interests and whatever. And they're deciding we would decide for everyone what is best. Where it seems like with the right information, that it should only be a referendum on per substance. And also it's different listening to this because we have mushrooms that are basically legal. We're in a weird area and I don't see it going backwards.
I think you're forgetting that there are like, you could literally cut the population of the U.S. in half. Half of the people, whether educated or not, don't want any drugs to be legal.
Without knowing, I
Kumar,
dare
what I'm
say,
saying
I
is-
dare say they're not drugs.
No, but Kumar, that's fine. It doesn't matter
Because
what
Joe
you.
goes around coffee, nicotine, like everything's drugs.
It doesn't matter what you call it. The Bible thumping groups it's drugs to them, and drugs are bad. And
Yeah, it's just perception, right? Like if they had told you when you
Tie
were
it in
a
with a
kid
burning bush.
that mushrooms were medicine,
I understand.
like, that they would just be medicine. To
I understand, but what religious family, like, do you think 30 years from now, many religious families, despite what we know about mushrooms, are going to be like, oh, I think you guys can go off and try? Like, I just don't see that happen.
I don't think it would be a situation you go off. I say you do it all together. The biggest thing I notice with people who have had bad experiences with mushrooms is they did them and went to a concert the first time, or just went to some place that was too many variables.
Set and setting.
Set and setting.
I also find like there's some mushrooms floating around that like you really need to be like those penis envy. You got to be fucking real careful with
Yes,
that shit.
I
Like
think
that'll blow your mind.
if you don't do mushrooms and you sat down and did like a fucking 2 grams of that, dude, you're calling an ambulance.
Yeah, but there are also places that have the doses right, and you're in a like a, for lack of a better word, like the K hole that Neil Brennan went in, like control environment.
Microdosing is your best bet. You have so much control. Like you could just every 20 minutes take a 0.1, a 0.2.
And he's suggesting it may be a viable cure, or not cure if depression is a affliction or whatever. But it makes a difference.
I'm telling you, if every single person on earth woke up every morning and took a 0.1 microdose of mushrooms,
No one's seeing dragons. Nothing's.
fuck, this would be a much better place to
The
live.
fact that they made it illegal, and we know that
Schedule 1.
that these same people certainly do not have our best interest at heart, then wouldn't it make sense that this thing is one of those cure-alls?
It's also sort of a NASA situation.
NASA.
NASA.
Tell me all about NASA.
Well, it was the Nazis that were developing the LSD because this is
To have their guys fight longer?
no,
That
that's
was
what
the
the
meth,
meth was for.
yeah.
There were people who would not submit to torture.
Especially the Polacks.
That's a crazy thing, right? I mean, I guess if you're like, well, you're going to kill me anyways, so
Yeah.
I might as well not. But still, that fortitude, I think I would snitch.
And if it's a religious thing too, like if you're, fighting for your God
yeah.
or whatever.
No, you
Dude,
don't,
once they
because
get close to my dick,
if
I'm
you
talking.
but if you snitch and then they kill you anyways, it's
Most people, it's maybe they just, I don't know. Most people give in because you don't want to go through the torture of having your dick cut off.
Yeah. Like even knowing that, oh, I'm going to die in an hour or 4 hours or a day. Like,
Like filleting your dick into one
okay,
of those
okay,
hot
okay, okay,
dogs,
okay,
you
okay,
know?
okay.
what do we think the Chinese water torture is?
It's when they drip water on your head.
It's actually physically, or it's just
They did it on
No,
Mythbusters.
They drip it on whatever, and it
No, it's your
eventually
forehead.
it's gonna like go into your skin and into your skull.
I'm telling you, they did
no,
it.
no.
Yes.
Listen,
It's the
it's the mental.
timing between the drops is uneven.
Simon,
You go crazy.
they did it on Mythbusters, and all of them had mental breakdowns far before it would bore into their head.
Sure, but think about water, Kamar. When water
Your head's not the
drips,
Grand
drips,
Canyon.
drips on a rock,
That takes hundreds of years.
Thank you, Matt.
eventually it'll get through your skin.
No, but
it might not get through your skull, but
They
it'll definitely
lose
get
their
through
mind
your
after
skin.
4 minutes or something, right?
Yes.
What's the one where they pour the water? Oh, that's waterboarding. Chinese waterboarding. They
I
got
don't,
a
think it's,
lot.
I don't think the Chinese made that. up.
No, they
I
get.
think that might be the CIA, or maybe they board it. But waterboarding, have you ever been waterboarded?
I have where they put the towel.
Because
on
what
you
happens
and
is
Yeah, it feels like
you're
you're
like,
drowning.
I can do this till you, and then you suck the and it's just all of a sudden you're like, oh, I do it. You have to like,
drowning's bad.
Yeah.
well, when someone's holding you down and you don't have control of it, if you're consenting to it, it's like, oh, that sucks. Like I did that to myself. Do you remember the torture in Casino Royale?
Nope. Wow. What was
Yeah, they
it?
beat his dick with a
He's
saw.
got they
Yeah, they have his
chair
balls
and he's got,
hanging
like,
down. Remember his balls are hanging down in the
they
chair.
They take out the seat of the chair and
Yeah, that's bad. That's really bad.
Any other tortures you guys remember?
Well, I've never
of-
been tortured, so
No,
hoping
but
to keep it that way.
bamboo under the fingernails.
Yeah, yeah.
Don't know
What
if that
was
ever
the one?
happened.
What
I hate
movie
this.
do they take the phone books out and beat the guy so they don't leave marks?
That's the urban legend of my
no,
life.
that's Full Metal Jacket.
No, they beat him with soap and a
Soap
sock.
and a sock, but
Soap
I think
and a
they
sock.
also use a phone book so that
No,
nobody can
no,
see the
I think
bruises.
they just fuck him up because he's on the way out.
What was the Sean Penn prison movie? They beat them with something in a sock in that one too.
You would tie people like that, like a prone position.
There's the one where you tie the person to two horses.
Oh fuck!
Whoa.
Yeah, the holy.
That's
grail.
medieval.
There's drawn and quartered, obviously.
And so these are humans doing horrible things to other humans in hope to save other humans. Torture's fucked up, man. And I liked this at one point.
Just Kamar, don't forget, there was probably a time on Earth where they had like 50 people crucified in a field. Like literally nailed to a cross. Just
How long were the nails?
don't do this.
They were 9-inch nails.
That's why the band's called 9 Inch Nails. How about that?
That's the word on the sheet.
Trent Reznor.
Norman's talking to Joe about Midnight Climax, I believe. And Joe's like, yeah, they were brothels. Like, well, no, they weren't exactly. And it was just that, Joe, your talking point stops here because he has done more research
Well,
than you
it's
did.
interesting, though. He was saying that the Midnight Climax thing was simply to see how people would react under LSD. And Joe's contention, or what I always thought as well, was that they were running a thing where they were getting guys to like give up trade secrets because they were more loose lips because they were having this like out of body experience, you know? So they could ask him like, you know, what's the code to the Russian?
Don't forget, they could both be right.
Truth.
Yeah,
serum.
they could both
Like
be
it
right,
could have
yeah.
started off what the dude said, and then halfway through it, they were like, "These guys are pretty loose-lipped on this LSD. Like, we might be able to get some fucking
That's right, they probably
some
did
corporate
do that.
secrets or whatever out of this."
You are correct. That's true.
And he also mentioned, which I believe, pardon me, it's my birthday. It was a university in Saskatchewan that was doing crazy stuff.
Yeah, he must have been a Nazi.
Saying one guy, they were giving them just always, like ruining someone's life. Hopefully they're prisoners or did something bad. But even then, it's not right that all this stuff has happened and it's not like public.
Like, isn't it weird that like that he even said it, Mertz, you know, Mertz,
Drug company?
the giant Merck, whatever, the giant, that's a German drug company,
Okay,
came over here. It's still a drug company today now. And Bayer, you know, aspirin,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
another German company, I believe.
why do you think it's called Bayern Munich?
There you go. So I'm just like, we took over all the scientists to help, not us, the American. Well,
NASA.
us too, obviously, because we had guys up here. We bring them over to do all the dirty work to progress us forward. They also have the most profitable companies that feed us the drugs that keep us unwell, probably.
And well,
Maybe mushrooms will keep you way more well.
I think you're forgetting, Simon, that there's like a seedy aspect to. Okay, so you go, you liberate Germany, you clear out the concentration camps, then you come across Bayer, let's say, and you're like, what do we do here? Let's say you open up their files and you see all the atrocities they've been doing for 5 years, right? But you're like, it's actually great medical data. As much as we hate that they've done
Why
this,
would they keep it called Bayer?
I mean, I don't know.
That's
the guy's name.
You would only do that if those guys held some sort of like
But you're forgetting there's all.
status over here.
But you're forgetting they didn't do anything to Nazi companies,
no, I know.
right? Like capitalism was still big for America, so they were like, well, someone had to clothe them. We get that.
Yeah.
Someone had to build them guns. We get that.
Anyways, I just look. I find it interesting that the more you look into it, you're like, oh shit, that guy was also one of those doctors brought over, you know?
Yeah.
And then all these people who were doing this like really important work that pushed forward what we consider to be like the peak of civilization were these guys who were 3 months earlier
Frederick Bayer. To you, sir.
creating, you know, committing atrocities. And I don't know, it's very peculiar. And it makes you wonder, like,
Like, let me ask you a question. Here's a great question. let's say 5 years from now, China comes out and they're like, we have the pill. We've created the pill that will extend your life. It will cure all, whatever. You take it once a year. It's not very expensive. Do you take that pill? It works. It's been proven to work.
But you gotta sell all your data. There's a terms.
No.
Yeah,
no.
I'd probably.
What
take it.
I'm getting at is you're going to take that pill. Like what
Because
I'm saying
it's
is
China. Is that your problem?
my problem is that if you like, let's use Joe's terrible bit about the bodies. Like, how do you think China got there? Probably
yeah, I
through
see
some
what you're
fucked up means. Right now, keep in mind, medically speaking, they've come to a breakthrough that's going to change the world. We all have to live with the fact that they probably did some fucked up shit to get there, right?
You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet, Maddie.
I'm not saying that with glee, but I'm just saying, like, throughout history, I said this last week when we were talking about like trans surgeries. Like, nothing in history is clean. We didn't get here through any clean means. Like, everything is fucked up, right?
I don't know, or it's the way it happens. It can't happen any other way.
I think that we take a little veer here instead of there, and everything's different.
I agree.
You know, trans is normal. From a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't take much to.
Well, no, it's funny you say that because, like, you always, I'm a perfect example where I'm like, I'm just one person. I couldn't change the world. That's impossible. How could I? But then you read stories about someone 80 years ago that was like super religious and who hated drugs and black people and completely changed the course of how everyone in North America lives their life today and how we could actually all be a little bit happier and a little less depressed and getting along a little better. But one asshole back in the day was like, I don't want black people fucking my women. And now we can't have mushrooms. You know what I mean?
Well, like the Kellogg's is a perfect
Yeah,
example.
I'm going to make this terrible cereal so you don't jerk off.
Well, I'll push back there. We can have mushrooms. That's what I was saying. Listening to this, the way he was talking, was a little bit different. Like
we're very
closer to it.
Progressive up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're giving you mushrooms, though, and they're also like, you better fucking say that her name is Cheryl and it's Bob. Right? Like, there's a few trade-offs to the fact that we have mushrooms. It's not perfect up here, that's for sure.
There's trade-offs to everything. It depends on, like, but that's what I mean. This is that, and that's hilarious to me. Like, I would never move to Canada. You guys are so oppressed. Justin Trudeau tells you what to do. You could go to jail for saying a joke. And yet we're free enough that we have drugs. And
Can I be honest with you?
There,
Can I be honest with you?
they don't.
But
in Texas, where they're so
their
free,
booze and cigarettes are cheap.
they don't have the drugs.
I would go back to completely illegal mushrooms if groceries went to like a reasonable price again. I would take that trade-off in a heartbeat.
Oh, wait for the post, Joe. I've got a story for you.
Yeah, of course you would.
You see what I'm
Of course you would. But
So that's all I'm saying is this country does kind of stink. Like, I get it that there are certain aspects of this country that are very progressive and that we should be happy for. I'm with you. Weed's legal across the country. You can get on a plane and fly from Prince Edward Island to Vancouver with an ounce of weed. No one will say a fucking thing. That's great. I can go down the street and buy mushrooms right now. That's great. There's some problems with our country.
I've been watching like
No, you just don't make enough money.
American
Yeah, you're right.
It's on you.
Yeah, you're right.
watch me shop videos,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So, and I'm watching them like pull things, food, whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, that's going to be like $600.
Yeah.
And it's like
not.
$140.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 14, it was like it almost tore us apart. My stepfather took me to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
In Cooperstown?
In Cooperstown. And after like begging and manipulating, he bought me a pair of Air Jordans.
He begged you and manipulated
I
you?
know. I
Fake
I need
ones?
those, the real Jordans 3s, I think, or whatever. But
Nice.
they were like $140 American. And the feeling of like what a huge purchase this was. You better be great. Like,
$140 now. I pissed that away in a day.
you know what I mean?
Already down 140 today.
My life would have changed for the better. For like, yeah, there's a pair of shoes. Sure, we'll get them. Not like we won't know what we can afford. Like, and it was just more. He was more old fashioned. Like, shoes should cost $60 maybe or whatever. But they were like space shoes. You know what I mean?
Only Kamar would go to Cooperstown to the Baseball Hall of Fame and leave going, I need Jordan 3s.
No, I needed something.
You're not buying cleats.
Well, I'm just saying it's a weird, like, he left there so inspired. He wanted to be a basketball
I get
star.
it. You're in the
No.
States.
I know.
Everything's
You
so
get
cool.
chocolate bars, everything. So it's the future.
What else you got on there?
You get chocolate bars. It's the future.
Hitler didn't hate jazz. It was the other guy
Hitler didn't hate
who got rid
jazz.
of jazz. It was what EDM is now.
Are you fucking nuts?
I don't think so. I think you're totally mistaken.
Let's go back in time. In 47, there's probably folk music.
Oh, I see.
Peter, Paul, and Mary.
A music you don't understand.
And it's this nondescript thing that
Yeah.
is this written down? Like it'd be
It's not EDM. It's more like a dubstep.
that's EDM.
No, because
all
no,
are under the umbrella.
sure. I disagree though, because EDM is like most people, like Simon right now doesn't listen to EDM. If you put on the right EDM track, Simon's going to move a little bit. He's
Yeah,
gonna move
and
a
if you
little
put
bit.
the right jazz track
No,
on.
if you put on jazz, Simon's going to hate it. And if you put on dubstep, Simon's going to hate it. You know why? Because those two musics fucking stink.
I push back. There's a jazz song you can play. You'd love Cannonball Adderley. This is some.
There's always one or two songs of every genre that will pass the sniff test.
And if you say, "What's that song?" and I'm like, I don't know. We just made it up. We can't do it again.
Just play the
Then
right
that would
notes.
make it magical. Now jazz seems snooty.
Jazz stinks.
yeah.
You don't like to read the newspaper and listen.
No,
to
and neither do
jazz?
you, asshole.
I don't. So yeah, the military started LSD, and the CIA took over in 47. Yada yada yada.
Well, we started using it because they were already using it in Europe and in the enemies were using it, so they had no choice.
It was the same as the arms war, but a psychological drug war.
Oh, that was meth, eh?
Yeah.
I keep getting those things confused.
No, meth was for them to execute orders and be super
To
soldiers.
be able to last 5, 6, 10 days in the field.
and the LSD was to extract information.
I love the story he told about the guy who like popularized meth and how he was like journaling every day. And he was like, I don't even know how I got to work every day without this meth. This meth is like absolute crazy. I'm working 20 hours a day. And then like fast forward 3 months later and his journals are like, I'm very depressed. Even the meth isn't making me happy anymore. And like,
Are you talking about the guy on YouTube or
no, this dude was telling a story.
It's hilarious when he's talking about Hitler's doctor there. He's like, yeah, he had him on this vitamin routine and blah, blah, blah. And then one day he introduced him to meth. And all of a sudden, Hitler was just like, that's it. All I want is meth. No more vitamins. Like, of course.
Yeah.
that's what I was saying about the drugs. If you can afford to do the drugs, you can go a lot further than the average person who falls into drugs and then has to start compromising himself to keep getting the drugs.
I mean, if you're doing like Adderall, if that's your drug of choice, and the outcome is that you're getting so much work done, like that sounds better than going into a K-hole every day. You know what I mean? You're getting shit done. It's probably not good for you, but
I mean, it's interesting. Like, I wonder if there's some rich person out there. Like, let's take a Dr. Carl Hart who has like a nurse friend who has the perfect concoction where like you can shoot heroin at night, and then I give you like this mixture of vitamins, and the next day you wake up and it's like you didn't shoot heroin at all. Still, you know what I mean? Super healthy. Like, I wonder if that exists.
Would you then do heroin?
I mean, I guess I'd try it once.
Fucking junkie.
you know what was a terrible movie but a cool idea? Limitless.
Have you seen it?
Of course.
The movie game.
It's the JRE movie game. The time has come again. For Matt and Simon to rack their brains to guess the budget in the box office. We all know they won't guess the year, and the Patreons are the real winners here at the JRE movie game. Come on, take it away, baby.
It is the movie game where Matt and Simon go head to head to find out what year a movie came out, how much it made at box office,
How much men at a boss
and
office?
how much it cost to make. It's funny because this was going to be the movie game for the next one because Michael Malice is running his mouth, not knowing what he's talking about.
Michael Malice running his mouth, I know what he's talking about.
But it worked all the same. Directed by Neil Berger. starring Bradley Cooper, Abby Cornish, Robert the Bitch De Niro, Andrew Howard, and Anna Friel.
I'm ready.
I'm not. I guess I'll give you a year right off the rip. Give me a sec here.
I guess Limitless is right now Ozempic.
No, stop. Are you like you got your own deal on the side and you're not telling us about
Hey
it?
man,
Ozempic's
Simon
a
was
weight
talking about
loss
cutting me
drug.
out last week. I said, "Oh, it's every man for himself. So we just got to get ours."
No, but limitless, that drug that makes you the perfect you, or it's.
Do you remember the book Flowers for Algernon though?
I do.
So it's that thing. Everything goes good, but then it goes worse.
I mean,
Simon, you have a year?
yeah.
I said 2012.
I said 2008.
Matt, you're always so close.
2011.
2011.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, I'm also very close, but whatever.
No, he was one away, you're three away.
Simon,
We're in Olympic mode right now.
what do you got for the rest of it?
65 million to make.
Okay, that's crazy.
172.
I said it cost 22 million to make and it made 148.
I got to give it Matt 2 weeks in a row. $27 million for the budget and 161 for the box office. This guy is
172.
dialed in. You know, you guys know your years and your
Just
box
suck
office,
his
but you don't know
dick
your
a little
budget.
more.
It's so funny when he does this to you, you sit there and you're like,
Baby pop.
fucking weirdo.
But yeah, there has always got to be a catch to anything. But I do believe, based on the fact that the
I do believe.
LSD is organic,
That's the balance.
meth, I see there's a guy, that's what I thought you were referring to. He splices himself on like Rogan or Impulsive, just talking about how he cannot live without meth and how it, and the other person's like, really? He's like, yeah, I do it all the time. And
Who says that?
It's a joke. It's like
it's
a
on
TikTok
TikTok or
you're
something,
saying,
but that's the one I don't see. Although, as we discussed, Andre Agassi did it. But psychedelics, I think, are suppressed for control of the masses. People would be wiser and happier. You know what I mean? If there was a way to describe it, it's not being this evil, be afraid of it.
I mean, I'm not sure of this, but I'd bet my bottom dollar that when you start to see the drug laws being enforced, you also start to see the pharmaceutical companies stepping in and blossoming. That seems like those exact same people
What do you think they've
who
spent?
are making the lobbies for the prisons. This is all intertwined.
Well, this is a
Make
minority.
drugs
Though. This is a minority
We'll
doing all
stop
this to control the
we'll
majority.
stop them from doing this, and at the same time, we'll fill our prisons with the renters we need to pad our pockets on both ends.
And at the same
it's
time,
diabolical.
Back to my stinging nettle. It's this idea that you could find something, if you can figure out a use for it, you can be uber rich. Like take what is poison ivy, but make it into some sort of weapon or
Weaponized poison ivy.
thank you.
What do you think they've spent on the war on drugs since 1971? How much money do you think the U.S.
$1
just the US?
trillion. And this is my last point, and then we can rate it. I can't believe someone hasn't taken like a Mako bottle full of acid and just dosed a population.
For what purpose?
Terrorism, psychological terrorism.
He does have a point. They're so
It seems like the easiest thing to do.
I'm sure they've
wouldn't
done
want to
it.
do
We just it hasn't been
didn't make the news at a
declassified
bunch
or
of
we
people.
haven't heard about it.
if you were like a nefarious group,
Yeah.
okay, doing like the ultimate scam where you're, like I just said, making it illegal, selling you the replacement, which is terrible for you, at the same time putting you in jail for doing the thing that's better for you because this whole scam that they're running. Wouldn't you tell the people you're part of this free experiment?
I don't know.
Well, yeah, of course you would. You know what I mean? You want people to believe that they're free.
You wait, but why? So hold on. You would tell them they're part of the free
But
experiment?
think
That doesn't
about
make
this.
sense.
Think about this as you say. Tell them how easier it would be. All this happening before the internet. Like, it'd be harder for you to tell. Oh my God, you don't know what happened last night, right?
Yeah. Well, everything was
People
easy.
would go home, wake up like, I guess I ate something. Whatever. I don't like accents. I love the Patreon. I give this a 3.
I'll give it a 4.
I'll give it a.
You got to give this one credit. It didn't have any of like the normal bullshit. Like Joe regurgitated the shit he knew that was in the realm of this, which is fine. It's perfectly acceptable. New information, new guest, interesting. Like
great. You know Betty and Barney Hill?
Yeah, Angela Hill's grandparents.
Yeah, the old couple. They were like the first
interracial
UFO,
couple. Yeah, big UFO sighting in like Pennsylvania.
That sounds to me like when you re-look at that,
like they were dosed.
They were dosed, and because everybody's thing is, well, she had this information about like these solar systems that you couldn't possibly know about. That she knew about Zeta Reticuli, and they didn't find out about. But you know who would know that? The fucking government. You know what I mean? The same people who dosed her. So they're dosing her, and they're just whispering in her ear.
But that seems odd, right?
It's it's Clockwork Orange.
I guess, yeah.
Why is that odd? That's the perfect way so that people like me are like, no, it's real.
I guess.
I don't know. That to me, when you look back on it, and then you ask yourself, like, how many times, just to Kamar's, why aren't they dosing everybody? They probably have been for a long time. When people see, like, like the mother of Maria, no, that's not the name of it, but where
hold on.
Everyone in Mexico sees the Virgin Mary.
Yeah.
That could just be that the water got poisoned, you know?
Well, that could be that. That doesn't mean someone's dosed.
Ergot.
In the dosing section, like, it's a weird flex to be like, they want to make this illegal so no one is like awakened, but they also want to dose a whole population. Like, isn't that kind of counterintuitive? Like, if you dose a whole population, you might wake a whole city up and they're like, fuck this, we're taking the city. Like,
yeah. No, I don't think they would do it like that. I think they would do it if, like, they were trying to fake an alien landing.
I get
so
it.
So they're going to scare the shit out of it. It's like a Barney and Betty Hill thing, like I talked about a few seconds ago. Anyways, okay, that's it. I rate this one a 4.
Kamar, did you rate it?
3.
Okay.
I thought this was a terrific episode.
Yeah, I did too.
If he had all episodes like this, I would be a fan again.
Just the accent.
I don't know why you hated his accent so much. It was a very, very legible accent.
I don't like anyone's accent.
You're weird. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to pay a bill, and we'll be right back. We're back. Thank you so much to BetterHelp. Come on, name and a number.
Oh, sorry. Rooney. 2182, Michael Malice. No one should do the podcast more than 3 times.
Well, you got to have something new to talk about. You
Unless
can't
you're
just
bringing
come
something new to the
to
table.
fill us in on your like 3 months in Austin.
Well, no, this was to cover the. Some people call it a coup. Some people call it a moment, but I've never seen anything like this. We would have thought Kamala Harris was 6 months ago. If they were to make her run for president, we'd be like, no, and she's going to win. I feel like she's going to win.
No shot.
I really feel like she's going to win.
There's no way.
I don't think it's impossible. I think it could be another. First of all, they could fucking rig the whole thing again.
Uh-oh.
It could be another like
we just got demonetized.
People will vote for anybody but Trump. You know,
I think young people though will vote like people who wouldn't have voted.
You'll get some of the black vote, I imagine.
Well, the interesting thing is, did you see when Trump went to the black press core meeting?
No.
The reporter asked him a question about all this racist shit he's been accused of. And he goes, that is the rudest question I've ever been asked. But then she says, is Kamala Harris a DEI hire? Diversity, equity.
Yes, I know what DEI is.
And I would say
asshole.
100% she was. Because no one wanted her. And then Joe Biden picks her. Tulsi could have been. And he goes, that depends what you mean. I think she's different because I always thought she was Indian. I didn't know she turned black. And it's been a real like.
She said she was Indian.
Well,
she said that to Mindy Kaling on her cooking show.
Yes, the receipts are there.
Who said that?
Kamala Harris.
Said she's Indian?
Mindy was like, we're going to cook some Indian food today. And Kamala went, oh, that's great because I'm part Indian.
Oh, part Indian.
Yeah, she's part Indian, part Jamaican. either way, it shouldn't matter. It should be, I'm going to lower taxes, I'm going to do this, but it's just this mudslinging. But she was Veep.
Yeah.
Just like Zelensky's,
Great point.
Just like
Great
Biden
point.
was. And remember, like everybody said, oh no, she got lambasted by what's her name?
Tulsi.
Tulsi.
Yeah.
And she put all these people in jail and she did this and she did that. Think of all the horrible things Biden did. And they fucking just glossed over all of that and put him into office.
That's true.
I don't think it's beyond the pale, you know?
It's true. You're not wrong.
It's interesting that it's always been Clinton 2 terms, Bush 2 terms, Obama 2 terms, Trump 1, Biden. Like it feels like it's a chink in the plan.
Well, it might have been Biden 2 terms if he hadn't have been.
But if we all believe what
If you had been 20 years younger.
if we all believe what we saw, I believe it's the 25th Amendment. Like you're not fit for office. No one that never got mentioned.
No, because they did it in a way that was like he's sick.
Well, okay, now I just realized that the Republicans didn't do it because they wanted him. Yes,
Exactly.
You do run.
Yeah,
I think
100%.
Anyways, I think I told
Once
you
the
this
Republicans
a
saw
long
that
time
first
ago.
debate, they were like salivating. They were like, "Oh, please put this guy up."
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'll still be interested to see if if Big Mike gets in there somehow.
Have you still? Are you still boycotting certain conspiracy podcasts?
I mean, no, I'm listening to him, but I'm not liking him. Can tell you that much.
He's in a toxic
Yeah,
relationship.
he really is.
No,
yeah.
but it,
Whatever.
it's-
No, we we're not fucking. We're just hanging
Yeah.
out.
But like,
Meanwhile, his girlfriend's like, "I think Jews are the problem with the world."
he had the audacity to say the other day, I'm not pushing my religion on anyone,
Okay.
but if you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell.
yeah,
Well,
That's
that's
true.
not pushing
That's
it. That's how he
true.
feels.
That's
That's,
how it
just
is.
a statement.
but it's more like it is so convoluted now. I don't know
What is? Sorry.
who shot Kennedy, who shot Trump. Like the Vegas shooting. That's the one they mentioned. Certain things come and go. Just say.
And when you're able to look back and see, like, oh, this guy was visited by the CIA, they just let him walk right in with his ladder and his fucking rifle on his shoulder, you know, like it all just works out perfectly. And then you look back all the way to JFK, and we don't know because we weren't there at the time. We only like see it from away, but it all worked out perfectly too. You know what I mean?
Is Pennsylvania an open carry state?
It's an excellent question, Matthew.
Because that changes the story a little bit, right? If it's an open carry state, well, no, just hear me
I
out.
still don't think you can bring guns to go see the president.
Listen, I'm not saying it shouldn't raise some alarms. Don't get me wrong. What I'm saying, though, Simon, is if at that rally you see 5 other people with guns, like who are just there watching the rally, it becomes a little less egregious slightly.
for sure. I
Pennsylvania generally allows open carry of firearms without a license. So yeah, he was in his rights.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's a weird flex to be like, oh, this American who was exercising his rights. I mean, the latter is,
But there's been some time for the dust to settle. Do you think Trump staged that and killed a firefighter? Too bad, so sad, to make himself look good, and it's all a fake, orchestrated? Or do you think some sort of power that be activated a sleeper cell that wasn't a good shot, and he just almost?
Dude,
You don't know. That's the whole thing. There's too much misinformation. The side that was the side.
now. Oh, sorry.
listen, it looked like he got shot at and it just missed his head. So I don't know if Trump. I've seen multiple former snipers say to make that shot is like fucking difficult.
There's
like to
no-
graze the ear.
There's no way they would take that kind of chance.
That's what I'm saying.
With Trump, I think my theory is a little more plausible.
your wrestling
that
theory.
no bullet was ever fired.
It was a blank and they cut his ear.
and he just cut, like, that's easy peasy lemon squeezy. He's golfing the
I
next
still don't
day,
buy that
brother.
either. No.
He's golfing the next day, brother.
The firefighter that passed away, that no one talks about?
Who got shot?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to pull a Sandy Hook here, but like if you're going into conspiracies,
Why?
I don't know why. It's like, I don't know. Let's move on.
Could you ever imagine donating to a political party?
No.
It's so foreign.
Never in my life. Never in my life.
But they claim that, of course, they're super donors, but they're individuals sending 25. Like,
I would have to have so much expendable cash to even consider the notion of giving any of it to the
Kamar, if there was
you give them your vote. You don't have to give them your money.
if there was a candidate that came out and was like, I'm going to legalize all drugs and everyone gets 10 grand and a dick suck on their birthday, and like,
I'd pay $5.
you know what I mean? I donated. Yeah, I got some fucking spare
I'd pay
change for this
$5
guy.
for
Yeah.
that. I like the dick suck on your birthday.
Yeah.
I like the all legal drugs.
Yeah. 10 grand on your birthday too. That's always nice.
Every birthday.
Every birthday, yeah. Just a nice little, just rate it and direct deposit into your bank account. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Oh, no, Kamar. I think most of those donations are from like super PACs and corporations. And
No, but they're claiming that everyday people are donating a big portion of money. It isn't. You're right. It all
Not the
comes from
individual
those-
big portion of their money, but part of it is individual.
No, a
small
lot of
donations.
little individuals make up a
Allegedly.
big portion. That is not the case at all.
I mean, listen, I believe that there are a lot of Trump supporters out there who have no problem throwing him a 50 or 100, despite them being rich or
based on
poor.
what we see people do on YouTube
Yeah,
and live streams.
that's what I'm saying. People will donate to a Minecraft streamer. So
Yeah, it's all so stupid.
we should
We're
just self-destruct.
we're doomed.
Do you think there was a better time in your life? Oh, sorry, Simon, this won't apply to you, but when you thought Santa Claus was real?
was that a better time in my life?
It was a 2-year period or whatever.
That's weird. It's like you're asking if being a kid was like a better time.
No, but
I don't know.
there's BS and AS before Santa Claus, after Santa Claus. And everything just keeps falling down. Like the Iron Sheik is American.
No, he's not.
Sorry, Simon.
He's not American.
sorry.
He's just not really a sheik.
But rest in peace. But just the illusion of life, it cannot get better than when you think there's a dude that shows up at Christmas time.
The Iron Sheik was American? Like he was born in America?
I'm on it, Kamar.
I have to know this now. His name was like Billy?
Nothing is real. Camel Toe Harris, that's what you're supposed to call her.
Yeah, camel toe.
If you want to be, oh no, that's the idea. Because she's a woman of color,
You can't insult her?
anything you say is
Is a racist insult. Yeah, it's
So his full name is
Yeah.
Hussein
Okay.
Khosarov Ali Vaziri.
okay.
And he was born in Daghan, Iran.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
You are such a disinformation machine. You're like a unit that blows disinformation like an air conditioner.
He did die in Fayetteville, Georgia.
no,
I assume he was an American when he died.
I think the whole thing is that he wasn't really. He was friends with Hacksaw Jim Duggan. They were buddies. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Who cares?
Again,
Yeah,
the emperor has no clothes.
yeah.
Again.
So my only problem with Michael Malice in this podcast was he's harping on him and Roseanne are best friends.
Oh, he did this last time he was here. Like, we're just doing. You know what?
Cook,
love
Simon.
He's
cook.
making me chew my cabbage twice, and I don't fucking like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, let him cook.
Just get him out of here. Kamar opened with the perfect statement. You should be on Joe Rogan 3 times, unless you have something really interesting to say.
You added that.
I like that. The first time you get there, Jamie gives you 3 cards.
Yeah.
Or just 1 card that's punched, and Jamie punches it once, and then
Like
you
a
have
Subway thing.
Yeah.
Use
He's-
them at your
Yeah.
discretion.
He's like, I don't care if you write a book,
Yeah.
if you star in a movie, if you got a
Yeah.
special coming out. Don't come here to chit chat about nothing. Use these wisely. You better be selling something.
I like that, but that'll never happen.
And he answered the question, I think sort of that we asked about how you assume if you're a male rock star is just debauchery. But if you're a female rock star, it'd be you having a train run on you.
No, it's that there's a bunch of dudes around folding your clothes for you.
Well, he said Belinda Carlisle just paced
No, 'cause
around into cocaine.
what about Madonna? Like, she went through tons of
Oh, yeah.
guys, and nobody was like, she's getting trains run on her. It was like, no, Madonna is a sex machine, and she's using these men at her leisure. I don't like this whole thing.
Do you like Madonna more
Simon,
than
Madonna is
Taylor
using
Swift?
these men at her leisure.
Sorry?
We've
Do you
done
like
this.
Madonna more than Taylor Swift?
Do I like Madonna more than Taylor Swift? I don't like either of them, but no, I don't like one more than the other.
Hold on. If we're just talking about music catalog, of course we like Madonna more than Taylor Swift.
I think for
I
our
don't
time
know
of age,
enough
I think
Taylor
Taylor Swift might have
Swift
more hits by
songs.
now, but I like
Oh,
Madonna
whoa.
more
Taylor Swift definitely has more hits
as a
by now.
disruptor.
I think Taylor Swift is hotter than Madonna, if that's...
So wait, you take Taylor Swift over prime Madonna?
I think so, yeah. I never found Madonna all that hot.
Taylor Swift fucked just doggy style with her back like this. Guaranteed. For those who aren't watching, I'm
you
making
know,
it.
girls fart more than guys.
That's a weird segue.
Think
but-
about it.
Okay.
Think about it. Is this a new bit of yours?
We'll be right back.
Exactly.
You should just do non sequiturs like that on stage. Just tell the crowd, like, you know, girls fart more than guys. Think about it, and then just move on to the next thing.
Think about it. Yeah, that's funny.
No, I'm,
You should just do a whole set of think
I
about
have
it.
written down. I'm
Oh,
weaving.
dude,
I'm
dude.
trying bits.
I
on
love
you.
how I give him a bit, and he's like, no, I've already written that one down.
Yeah.
He's quickly typing it.
Yeah.
Another interesting point you brought up too is the Special Olympics.
Ain't so special.
Well, that remains to be seen. I could show you these guys with no legs swimming in the 50-meter breaststroke, and it's very special.
That's special, yeah.
Oh, no, it might be para.
So
But the
sorry.
Special Olympics is because they gave the lobotomy. We were talking about that last week to Rosemary Kennedy, and out of guilt, that's why they started the Special Olympics.
Well, that's why they became so interested in brain disorders, I think.
No, they just had really guilt that they
Really?
fucked up.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Or no, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Is Biden dead?
He sits back on the chair.
I mean, it's,
Discuss.
it's possible. It's definitely possible. I think that they just used this whole. He never had COVID. He never even got sick. He was done. He was senile. He had he had jumped the shark as a functioning human being, and they could not put him out there anymore. Like,
Have you
that's-
seen the
Wait,
footage
can I ask you a
where he
question?
looks taller?
Can I ask you a question though? So let's play this where we think he's dead. When did he die? Because that was obviously him in that debate, right?
right when they said he got COVID? That's when.
So, like,
he died.
3 weeks
it's
ago, a
not
month ago,
obvious.
that sort of thing.
It's not
Yeah.
obvious he was in that debate. That could have been Adam Ray.
No, but my point is like, if you're going to use a body double for Biden, do you not get someone in that debate who's like, or you just want Biden out, so you have to make him an idiot in that debate? Is that what you're saying? This sounds so ridiculous.
I don't know if you want to go back to
can't
something
believe
I told you guys a long time ago, but they were going to like try and disgrace Biden.
That's
to
the
make
idea.
Sure they got him out. So this was just another way to do that. But you know what's more probable is that he really was like they had run him for as long as was like humanly possible without people literally holding him up on the stage.
Weekend
you
at
know?
Bernie's.
Yeah.
No, but he dropped the mic just like yesterday because they had that hostage or prisoner swap.
Well, that sounds like a body double.
And a reporter said Trump said he would have done this or made a better deal. And then he said, why didn't he when he was president? And walked out. It was pretty awesome.
I don't think Evan was locked up then.
And who knows?
Evan
when
Gershowitz,
that
the
was
fuck, isn't
shot.
that the guy? Yeah.
That's part of it. Yeah.
I think you were watching an old TikTok.
I'm just saying that guy was only convicted like last month.
And actually, I also realized it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
No president, I dare say prime minister, has really, could I
Just a
see,
spider on the end of your hat. It's hilarious. Keep going.
changed my life.
No president has changed your
The
life.
party in
I
power,
agree.
the government, what they're doing.
No, I would disagree. You could argue that this current party in place in our country has made your life more difficult.
I think they've made everyone's more difficult.
it's on your hat, man.
He doesn't care. Kamar,
I don't think there's like a direct connection to me doing well or bad.
It's on the top of your head.
Hold
now.
on. You would argue that the current government that we've had for like 8 or 9 years,
Crazy.
that if it had been a different government, you don't think things might be better right now?
Well, I would hope that. Did I mention that Bill Clinton, when he was impeached, had left a surplus?
It could get in
Yes.
your
Was
ear.
the
last time?
and
Yeah, I
lay
know.
eggs.
And I believe our Prime Minister Harper had almost a surplus, and now there's just been debt after debt. So maybe
Clinton's whole thing when he got into office was, I think it's one of the only good things he did. His whole thing when he got into office was the only way we're going to spend
get his dick
government.
sucked.
No, he said the only way we're going to spend government money is if the program that we're spending money on can bring in more than we're. And so yeah, he had a surplus after 8 years.
And they lied.
He also though removed Glass-Steagall, which ruined the financial market forever.
Can't sue or can sue something?
No, the Glass-Steagall Act was like, it was a multi-purpose thing that they put into place after the depression, after the big crash, to make sure
fail-safe.
Yes, it was so that people couldn't go crazy leveraging on securities, which we now do. You know,
Oh my God, have you ever?
It was one of those fail safes they put in that nobody follows today.
no, I just said Clinton repealed it.
Have you ever seen someone explain a credit default swap?
Yes,
It's the sickest. Well, no, that would be a loan. So it's not this. It's a contract. It's so gross.
Yeah, the whole thing. It's built on lies, man.
Joe pushes back that he doesn't believe that monkeys typing for infinity would come up with anything. Discuss.
I mean, the laws of probability state that they would eventually. All those words would just fall into the perfect order. It may take 1 million years
Or 2 billion.
or 2 billion or a trillion or more time than we could possibly have left. But
So we won't know.
I mean, it's a stupid statement because by that logic, pretty much anything is possible, right? Like you
well,
can't
that's weird.
fly.
We have computers. I'm sure they can run that simulation at the snap of a finger. Right? The program runs random letters.
Make 100
Yeah.
AI monkeys.
This is what I'm saying. Completely random letters. Yeah, 100
Yeah.
AI monkeys.
They
and
could do that, Matt.
I'm curious. I wonder.
Ask
Joe is right.
ChatGPT.
So Joe is right.
Well, no, I'm going to find out. That's a good question.
It's so crazy nowadays. Body dysmorphia
Yeah.
and things people do, and they don't look. Maybe I guess what they see looks better, but it looks unnatural.
Yeah, it's very odd.
I
But
think,
we're old, so
but we wouldn't notice a nose job as much.
Yeah, but I think now
see
it's
me, the
weird. Like
person?
Simon Cowell looks fucking weird.
Exactly. And they were talking about guys that go way too far and all these things. Mickey Rourke.
Yeah, but I think his was different because his nose was fucked from coke and fighting and stuff. So he had like reconstructive surgery. I think that one's a little bit more.
his whole face got different. Like those guys did lots of.
There's
work.
there's
it wasn't just one.
There's the
thing.
pullback thing,
Yeah,
and I honestly think you guys are sexy as fuck with all your wrinkles.
thanks, man.
You're welcome.
You too, Kumar.
When I get them, yeah, I'll feel bad about them. And one of the greatest things that ever happened to me, and I would talk about it if anyone's been listening for years, was how much I hated
Go on.
Don Lemon
Yeah,
and Chris Cuomo.
You hate them. You've hated them from the start.
and how has the thing come to roost.
yeah, it's all come around.
And they are like sort of in a human centipede.
Yeah. Well, because both of them decided that for whatever reason that they were like too big for the network they were on, I guess, right? And they were gonna go against they wanted to now be hip.
But it feels like that they had horrible instincts.
Yeah, horrible. Horrible. They thought they were great. It's kind of like what we were talking about before. Like you catch lightning in a bottle and then you think, oh, well,
Yes, okay. So that's it.
I'm amazing. I can stand on my own. I mean, you see it all the time with like bands, right? Where the lead singer will be like, well, I'm just going to go out on my own. Then he makes like a shit fucking album because
It was the mojo
it was
of
the
the whole band.
mojo of the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is great. Actually, I found a pretty Close answer. One of the most famous experiments involving the infinite monkey theorem was conducted by British programmer Jesse Anderson in 2003. He used a computer program to simulate a group of monkeys typing randomly on virtual keyboards. Over time, the program was able to create some short works of Shakespeare, although it did not fully replicate any complete works.
Okay.
So I guess, again, given enough time.
Yeah, it would eventually get
Yeah.
it right. But
So it does, it conclude. These simulations serve as interesting demonstrations of probability and randomness, showing that given enough time and randomness, even highly improbable events can occur. While they do not prove the infinite monkey theorem definitively, they provide valuable insight into the nature of randomness and the possibility it can offer.
yeah. And in like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, they would put a problem like that into the infinite warp drive there. And that's how it powered them from get to place through time, was by having these weird theorems that whatever, I don't know, something like that.
I mean, I guess it's like the lottery. If you think
We'll
about
be right back.
Well, no, if you think about the lottery, right? Like, how many people do you think play the lottery? I mean, if it gets up to 60 million, that
Then
means
that
that
many
10 million
people,
people
yeah.
have bought tickets, right?
Right.
At $6 a ticket.
Something
Probably
like
more
that.
because
Yeah.
they donate a ton to charities, whatever. So that means that like almost every week, one of those 10 million people has randomly hit 6 numbers in a, you know what I mean? 6 numbers out of like 100, which is insane, but it happens. So yeah, I guess, yeah, just enough time and
There goes the post, Joe.
shut up. What an asshole.
One of the points that disappointed me where they were talking about, just to circle back to sugar and, banning big gulp cigarettes, poison, and what have you. And Joe said, I've never done cocaine, but this is what happens. Like when people describe something, as Joe accuses people who are banning psychedelics, like how can you speak on something you've never experienced?
Well, you know Joe has never tried it because when he talks about the guy in the attic who looks like the vampire, like...
Oh, no, and he probably
It
hung out with
sounds
Joe
insane.
Diaz
It
while he was
sounds
fucking
insane.
skiing. But
Anyways.
Michael says to him, well, you would like Adderall. I don't know. I've never done it, but that's what I hear. And it's just that you can't say that.
Why not?
I think this would work on you, even though I don't know what
we
it
know
is.
what drugs do. Like, I haven't done Adderall, but I have a pretty good idea of what it does for you. If you were like a journalist guy, I could say, hey, this might be good. Let's not. So,
Did you just wink at me and say you could get me some benzos?
Yeah, I did. I blinked actually because I don't know how to wink.
I'm down.
Gave me the old benzo wink.
And
Blink.
yeah, I mean, the line in the sand is still
I
this
do know how to wink.
trans issue.
Trans issue.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah. Wow. It is gross when he does it.
If you look at your life with, say, 70 summers,
Yeah, man. That's a lot of summers.
That's a lot of summers. Yeah.
You mean in total?
that's an ambitious.
Yeah.
The time from when you're recovering from finding out there's no Santa Claus to adolescence and adulthood is
Tiny.
7 years. Some it's just I think we consciously should not.
From the time you realize there's no Santa Claus to the time Mr. B starts sending you dick pics is like 7 years
Yeah.
max, right?
2, probably.
I love you,
2
Jimmy.
years.
I know what these guys are talking about.
No.
Torture me.
Weird.
What else you got, Kamar?
I had no need for Michael Malice this week.
Wow.
Hold on. We sat down and you opened, before I pressed record on anything, you looked at Simon dead in the eye and you said, I just want you to know there's a lot here.
I think he was being facetious.
Acting.
Yeah.
That's showbiz, baby.
No, the thing that concerns me about Michael Malice is he's always like pushing back on animal. He's got a weird lane, and
He's like a smiley contrarian.
but as a anarchist, he's like a Switzerland. Is that the neutral?
Yeah.
Yes.
The knife, yeah.
It's not the neutral with the knife.
With the
And-
knife and the chocolate.
And lastly, this is gonna sound bigoted. It's my birthday though. Did we think he might have been into guys?
He is gay.
No, I think he was talking about hooking with girls in this.
No. Michael Malice is gay. He's married to a gay man.
Well, slap me and call me uncle.
Uncle. I'm going to find out right now.
I can
I'm gonna ask the
almost
internet.
guarantee you that he was not talking about women.
All right, let's hold on.
Not to be with in a sexual capacity.
Oh, Howard Stern. You were never into him. You were the only one that was into
Yeah,
him.
Matt loved Howard.
And do you think he's weird now?
Yeah, it stinks.
Yeah. So it's not me. It's
It's
him.
funny how anybody who goes on that show just becomes a horrible human being. Because look at Howie
Howie.
Mandel.
He wasn't horrible before that. Deal or make a deal.
I don't know. No, he did a game show. I don't know.
Well, what freaks me out about Howie is he's this crazy germaphobe,
Yeah,
but he
that's-
keeps doing all these things,
that's
even though
just-
he's lots of money.
That was just his
Shtick.
like shtick. Yeah,
I love how
It was like
Hi, Mandel. Let me open for you.
Ho Mandel. Ho Mandel.
Yeah, like we said, ad nauseum.
Yeah.
If you have nothing,
You stink.
he first came to us being the inside scoop on North Korea.
Yeah, I was looking for something kind of like that, and they just got stuck talking about Roganisms.
No, it was Kamala.
It was all Kamala.
Well, if is it okay if it is, group of people just switch who it is.
Is Kamala the actual person now? Like she's in?
Yeah.
and she
Camel toe?
doesn't-
I think so, yeah.
And
It
who-
hasn't official.
Has she named her running mate?
No,
So she
any day
could
now.
name Big Mike.
yeah.
There goes our money.
There goes our money. We don't even live in that country.
I don't know. She's exciting. She's new. She's fresh.
Kamala?
I feel it. Yeah.
Can I? This is hilarious. If you search on Google, is Michael Malice gay? The first thing that comes up is Michael Malice's Wikipedia. The second thing that comes up is a Reddit from the Lex Friedman subreddit. And it's Lex and Malice dating. Anyone else getting a vibe these two might be dating?
Cut that.
That's so funny. All right.
I give it 2.5.
I mean, I think I would agree with that statement.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Sure.
Wow, let's do this.
We have an agreement.
Post Joe. Post Joe.
All right, gang. That's an episode. If you made it this far, thank you so much. We appreciate the shit out of you. Maybe you're willing to go a step further. If you want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/JREE podcast. For $5 a month, you can support the show and you'll get some extra content. You get the post show. It's the show. If the show we shoot the shit. You'll also get old episodes. This won't age well. The show where we went back, listened to old episodes and did the same shit we do here. Moon debate. We might be garbage. All sorts of stuff. Thank you so much. Probably to BetterHelp, Patreons, listeners. We love you all. We hope you have a great week. We hope you enjoy your weekend. And as usual,
If you were thinking of donating money to some sort of political candidate,
yeah, give it to us instead.
I suggest you just join the Patreon.
Yeah, that's about right.
Bing, bang, boom.
There you
Keep
go.
your eyes open.